So you got to work, and then are you going to be getting off work about the time of the Carolina Duke game?
Yeah,
Because
probably.
I'm going to actually be able to watch it tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's a weird time. I think I'll probably get out about 6:30.
Yeah,
so I'll probably catch the last half of it at the house.
It's all depending on which Carolina team we see, right?
Hopefully it's the home team since they're at home. So
hopefully it's not the one that played against Wake Forest.
No.
All right, you all shared up?
Getting ready to. Waiting for give me the word.
What's the word? Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
What's the action? Satisfaction.
Yes.
You guys are dumber. Looky Stanley. Looky Stanley the manly taking a little nappy.
Giving me the rabbit eye. I know you're facing that camera toward me.
Is that what he's doing at the old camera? The old rabbit eye there. Yeah. All right. Who do you think it was that fired Shane?
I don't know what to make of that crap, man.
Was that the weirdest thing? Because somebody told me it was our buddy Tyson that told me, and I go, "Oh, come on, Shane can't be really fired." And then I had somebody who was a friend of mine who used to be, an auxiliary member of Front Row Section D, and he's like, "That's got to be a work." And I went, "No, it looks to be completely legitimate. It looks like he was completely really super fired." And it looks like the reason he was fired is because he was a dick backstage.
That's what I saw, particularly with Lesnar. I saw there was some hoodoo with him and Lesnar having some confliction over the ending or spots or something during the Rumble. So I don't know.
And nobody kind of outrules Lesnar. And then I also they said that
even Shane McMahon.
It was weird. And on top of that, he was a dick to Jamie Noble. He went out of his way to be a super dick to Jamie Noble.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know Jamie Noble was still there, but okay. Well, that's too bad.
He was helping an agent in the match, from what I hear. And then he fucked up the spot when he got eliminated by Brock, and he had to do the clothesline twice. So very strange.
Can we just all agree that this Rumble sucked? I'm not saying the whole pay-per-view sucked, but the guys' Rumble sucked. Okay, it sucked.
The consensus seems to be it was the worst one ever. I mean, that seems to be what the deal was, and it's very strange. And it's not. I think if Kofi had done his thing and not fucked up, it wouldn't have brought such a glaring spotlight to the entire situation.
Yeah, that just put the cherry on the cake, really. Even before Lesnar came out, and then but we all knew Lesnar was coming out, so we did,
but we also didn't know he had melanoma. What the fuck is that on his nose that got cut? What happened? Did somebody take a melon baller to his nose? What happened?
I don't know about that, man.
Here's what happened. He was up there. He had that Ken Patera thing up in McDonald's. They took a melon baller to his nose. I don't know what happened. We've gotten no explanation on that, have we?
Nah, I haven't heard one, no.
Him and Sable were having some rough sex, and all of a sudden she scratched him. He forgot his safe word or something.
Hey, man, never know what goes on at the old ranch up in Saskatchewan.
What's your safe word? Lumberjack. Ah! And then all of a sudden, half his nose is fucking gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very the Rumble itself was not good. The women's thing was okay, but only because of the big, Ronda Rousey situation. I should get some points for Liv Morgan because she did last 37 minutes. I feel okay about that. I feel all right about that.
Yeah. I mean, that's saying something for sure. But I like the women's Rumble better than the men's.
How do they go? Close. They got to go up to Vince after they got to go up to Vince after the thing is over and go, you got to fire Shane. He's got to go. What are you talking about? If I start firing McMahons for being assholes backstage, there'll be no McMahons left. What do you?
Yeah, that is kind of bizarre. Kind of a weird hill to die on there.
It was like, weren't they? Didn't they at least offer to have him get fired live on Raw so they could have a rating spike or something? Shane, come here. Yeah. Ah! That'd be great if that's actually how it went down. You saw that?
I wonder if he got sent his shit in the honorable Mickey James paper bag.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. Let's bring Carano back, 1-day contract, just to pack Shane's shit up there. Send it to him. You saw the tweet from Brad Stutz. He said they made Mustafa Ali actually tell Shane that he was fine.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just weird because I was reading. I've resubscribed to the Wrestling Observer, so I'll give you the password and everything.
Oh, cool.
And he doesn't have any further insight other than everything that you've heard about Shane being an asshole backstage is like true times 10. He was being a dick. He was trying to do this, that, and the other. And they're trying to set up for a feud with Rollins. And God, how good would that have been, huh? For WrestleMania, Rollins against Shane McMahon.
Are you serious? I mean,
seriously, that's what they were trying to set up for.
I mean, are you serious? It would have been great.
No, it would have been terrible.
Oh, okay.
It would have been so bad. It would have been
just making sure.
The only redeeming quality of Seth Rollins in the past week is he's put the Shield gear back on, right? I mean, that's
much.
like.
I mean, yeah, I can't argue with that.
That's the new.
It's still annoying as an individual.
That's the new
laugh and shit.
As Bruce Pritchard would say, that's the new paint of coat that they put on that character, which is actually an old paint of coat. So they decided to put that back on, but I don't understand. Like, first of all, how do we come to the conclusion that Shane's got to go? I don't understand how that's the thing. To me, that there's got to be like more to it. That like Nick Khan saw this and he's like, "That's in my contract. I can send people packing. This shit is not going to work for me. You got to get rid of him. I don't want to. He's a McMahon. He came out of my genes. He's the best." And you saw him. He didn't really do shit when he got in the ring.
Is he a product of the genetic jackhammer, Mr.
The genetic.
What it is?
Jackhammer. Very odd because she stands alone at this point. It's just Vince by himself. Linda, there were all these rumors he and Linda haven't lived together as a married couple in many, many years.
How's Linda doing? Do we know? Is she okay?
Nobody knows. She could be like, it could be like one of those deals. It could be like the movie Psycho, where she's just up in a wheelchair, up in her dead body,
in a rocking chair,
somewhere, and they go, "Oh yes, I'm Melinda. I don't need anything today, thank you." They drop her for Freshly meals once a week. Well, these Freshly meals seem to be stacking up. I don't know if you're eating them. No, I'm fine. I just haven't been hungry for a while. We don't know what's going on with Linda. We have no idea.
Haven't heard from her in a minute. I don't know.
Then Stefan Levesque are over here somewhere.
I haven't heard from them in a minute, to be honest.
No, and because he got sick, and it was that's a good chance to move that son of a bitch out. And then now Shano is gone, and I don't know where Shano is going to go. And they got the other daughter that they don't talk about that much. I don't know if she's like that one Kennedy kid that kept chained to the furnace. I don't know if that's but you just don't know.
Or like that Trump daughter that actually went to college.
Exactly. The one Trump daughter that went to college. That's funny. Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
Tiffany, the savior of the Trumps.
Tiff. Good old Tiff. How can I forget her?
Can't wait for that law school. That's going to be good. To have a Trump with a law degree. That'll be
I'm
special.
Looking forward to that too, yeah.
And then she when she actually starts reading stuff about law, she can be, "Oh God, we really are fucked. They do need to go to prison." I didn't realize that's bad. You guys are bad. You guys have to go to jail. So that was the huge story, was that Shane McMahon has been fired because he was an asshole backstage. And if you have there's only one McMahon that's allowed to be an asshole backstage apparently at World Wrestling Entertainment.
Some things never change, I guess. I'm like you, though, man. I think there's something more to this. I don't think it's just a cut and dried, he was an asshole, you're fired story. I mean, that's just not – that doesn't flush with me.
David Meltzer writes –
Maybe if it was like, not a McMahon, if it was like any other wrestler, then I might buy it, depending on maybe who it was. But Shane McMahon? Really?
He was brought back as a secret entrant to the Royal Rumble, writes David Meltzer, and also to produce the match, then go to the Elimination Chamber and finally wrestle Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Shane McMahon had worked on previous Royal Rumble matches in the past, dating back to the Pat Patterson days. I'm going to say that was 90% Pat, 10% Shane at best. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I'm just going to say it was 95% Pat, 5% Shane. In 2020 and 2021, he was one of the producers for the Rumble, even though he didn't work as a producer regularly, but has sometimes helped out backstage. When he was at tapings, he was brought back this year as well. But there were many complaints about how he wanted to build the match around himself and issues involving James Gibson. That's Jamie Noble. Every single story you've heard multiplied many times over was said by one person close to the situation named Bruce Pritchard. Who allegedly never talks to Dave Meltzer, but talks to Dave Meltzer all the time.
It's a work. Everything's a work, man.
It's the quote from his source, from David Meltzer's source, was, he was unprofessional, the likes of which left VKM no options but to fire him. Wow. When you're so unprofessional that even Vincent Kennedy, man, God damn it, that's terrible. I've never even seen that shit. Get it. I've seen people rape people in front of me and never fired them. Yeah! Fire! Gets rid of it. You're my son! And yeah! Ah!
Tell Shane to give you back his son, your son.
Give me back my son! How long can I keep this up before the neighbors start complaining? The walls are very thin in this house, and there's like three of them between me and the next neighbor who's like 50 feet away. I would assume she's calling the cops right now.
You know what they probably think is, like, every week or so that they hear this, they think it's your dad probably in your house, like giving you the business. Like,
he lets his drunk dad in the house once a week. Well, lately not so much because, our work schedules have been a little rough and we're not able to get together. But his dad comes in and just yells at him, and I'm just worried about that young man over there. I don't know. That's funny. Vince, you don't have any choice. Yeah, I do. I always have choices. I don't have to fire him. I can beat his ass. Very strange. I never thought I would see that. And then they try to build it, and then, well, I don't know what to think about that.
I don't either, man. I got to wait for some more stuff to develop here. I'm just not buying it right now completely.
It didn't help, David Meltzer writes, when the reaction to the match was it was the worst received male Royal Rumble match in history. Ding, ding, ding. Score one for Bryant. Although the issues were more than that of the 30, nobody seemed to think anyone except maybe Lesnar, Big E, or McIntyre would win. And McIntyre largely because of the idea he was a surprise. When it was announced before the match that Big E had been moved to SmackDown. Did you know that Big E had been moved to SmackDown?
It was very subtle. It was very subtle, but yes.
Fans realized that eliminating him from contention because Big E winning would only make sense if he was challenging for the Raw title at Mania. And since everybody knew the SmackDown title match was Reigns versus Lesnar. So that kind of thing. Randy Orton getting fucked over in St. Louis. How about that? Is that wild? That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah. How about that? Future Hall of Famer.
Who got fucked over more in their hometown? Randy Orton in St. Louis or CM Punk in Chicago? Give us a call. What? They couldn't put CM Punk over in Chicago to save their life this week, could they?
No. That was I don't know. Were you a little shocked at that, or were you kind of halfway expecting it?
No, I was surprised as you are. I'd like to be as cynical and jaded as everybody else, but that one killed me. That was a little, the way they restarted and they played with everybody's heartstrings and everything else. I was very surprised.
When they restarted it, I was thinking he was going to go over. Yeah,
that was very, very weird.
Well, the one thing that was kind of bugging me going into that match was I was surprised. I would have been surprised if that this was like the finale for them would be. You would think that would be like a pay-per-view type.
Yeah, the blow
thing,
off,
a blow off match. Yeah,
the beauty of that and the secret weapon, I think, of that whole program is Wardlow, because you can get him out of it by having Wardlow turn on MJF, and then all of a sudden MJF's got another issue and he's not so worried about CM Punk. If you believe in my theory that they're building toward Punk versus Danielson for that Labor Day pay-per-view, that Labor Day weekend pay-per-view. So if that's what they're doing, for me, they could continue with the Punk MJF feud. It's still got a lot of juice in it, and they could do it throughout the summer. That's just me.
No, I mean, time-wise and everything, it makes sense.
But Wardlow turning on MJF, I think that's really good too, and they could get a ton of stuff going on there.
Oh yeah, they can build on that easily.
Now, the segment I would like to talk to you about from All Elite Wrestling's Dynamite program now on TBS.
Yeah.
How about that Brandy and Dan Lambert thing?
Oh God, I knew that was coming.
How about that? How did she manage to make that motherfucker babyface? She babyface fucking Dan Lambert.
That whole thing was just
oh dear God in heaven. I gotta tell you, that really sums up a lot of All Elite Wrestling, that entire thing. They have this annoying piece of shit character who's getting real heat, this Dan Lambert guy. He's really useless. And Dan Lambert's getting all the juice in that thing. Those guys that he manages, I've even forgotten their names. I'm not even sure who they are. They used to be somebody, and now they used to be part of SCU, and now they're not. Is Scorpio Sky one of them?
Yes, that's
okay.
One of them.
I haven't seen them wrestle because he just gets up there and runs his mouth and talks about Junior Dos Santos and shit. So he does. And then
you're not wrong.
Then Junior Dos Santos comes out and he's, a great UFC fighter, and he throws like a working punch that's like the shittiest thing in the history of the world, and it sucked balls. So he gets in there, they cut opposing, and Brandy has such white heat. She somehow turns Dan Lambert, like fucking when he starts making fun of her fake titties or whatever, they start cheering him. They're like on his side. I mean, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Is that what happened, Brian?
No, I mean,
that's what happened, Brian, right?
Yes, it is. That's what happened. And I didn't really know what to make of that whole thing, other than I was like, I can't believe they're doing this. That's one thing I thought, but
exactly.
I didn't know. Yeah. No baby face in that segment. I'm sorry. There was a hint of a baby face when he said that about her tits, but that's about it.
She's so terrible that she baby faced fucking Dan Lambert, who's been the Jim Cornette like proxy in that promotion now for like 6 months. And she baby faced that guy because he was coming back at her. They can't figure this shit out.
Where does that going? I mean, where did they? That was my other thought. Where are they going with this?
Nobody knows. Oh well, although now your payoff was the extremely hot Paige Van Zant coming in the ring and trying to beat down Brandy, but then they separated them.
Is the Paige Van Zant? Is that what it is? Paige Van Zant was the payoff. Her and
I reckon that's it. Paige Van Zant is gonna. We're gonna see some program featuring Paige Van Zant against Brandy, until Brandy realizes that this bitch is getting like way more heat than she is and getting way more applause than she is. And then she's got to go. The bitch got to go because first of all, she's hot as balls. She looks like Elizabeth Banks, the girl that was on 30 Rock that played. Jack Donnie. Oh, I love her. First of all, holy shit. Paige Van Zant is way hotter than I thought. I thought like back when she was fighting, she was hot. She's tremendous.
Oh yeah,
she's
man,
unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe there's someone from WWE not watching that and going, "Oh, holy shit, did we drop the ball in that situation?"
Yeah, they sure did.
We totally should have signed her. She's super hot. She has all the athletic skills. She has the pedigree. She looks like she can work. She got great facials, man. And she's gonna. Not only have they gotten Cody to where they can't figure out what Cody's doing and if he's going to do this, that, or the other. Now they've got Cody's wife not being able to figure out exactly what she does. And if there's like a heel that you have that you want to turn babyface, let him cut promos with Brandy. She'll have him over his babyface in no time flat. Holy shit. It's the greatest. Oh, man.
But to think, at the same time, you mentioned Scorpio Sky. This is really kind of bringing him and Ethan Page both down so many notches for me, man. And they're just kind of innocent bystanders almost in this whole thing.
Very much so. Yeah, they're not. It's very similar to what happens with. Wasn't Jake Roberts managing the Murder Hawk there for a while?
Yeah, I guess he's still with him, but I don't really understand that whole situation either. I don't know where
Jake
Dan
was
Lambert
getting
comes in.
Jake was getting himself over like way more than the Murder Hawk than the guy that he was managing. I mean,
yeah,
honest to God.
Yeah, well, that could have been something to do with it, but
hey, the other thing I have to ask,
in charge of it's not really helping the cause. He's pretty good at putting himself over too.
I don't know what they're seeing or what numbers or what research or what anybody's telling them that, like, we got to put more Dan Lambert on this show. We just got to put a microphone in Dan Lambert's hand and let him cut from motherfucker. He's not Paul Heyman. Okay, he's not. I don't know who's telling you this, or if there's audience research. I would hope that, like, if you had actual research from TBS, they're showing the needles and the dials are going like so far down every time that motherfucker's on screen. And you can't tell me it's heel heat because we're not waiting for the payoff.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe they just think it's heel heat, but they should be smarter than that. I mean, if we can recognize it, surely to God they can.
If he gets paid back at a pay-per-view, people are going to have to beat down his stable of UFC fighters who have already been established as the most badass thing on the planet, right?
Right.
It's just, it's bizarre what they're thinking. The other thing I wanted to ask you is, why do the Matt Hardy vignettes have to be filmed like a hostage video in a fucking stairwell every single week? Why does that have to happen? Why is that necessary?
I don't know. Delete.
I don't understand what's going on there. I have no idea what's going. They film it like it's like they're at the mall or something. And it's like some 16-year-old kid with his goddamn Galaxy S21 Plus or whatever, just turn that thing on with shitty audio and everything. And then Matt Hardy he was bitching at Andrade or something, but I can't remember what he was bitching about something.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Something. Yeah, Andrade was probably part of it, yeah.
And Andrade, hey, this will surprise you. He's still not over, Bryant. He's still very under.
I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon either. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Wow. What a bold prediction by Bryant Williams.
I know, man. Mark it down.
Hang on. I think Trump's going to continue to be an asshole. Now, I know that I'm putting myself out there. I'm stepping out on a limb. That's fantastic. It's just fantastic. The other guy that they can't figure out a way to get over is Christian Cage, who was seen chasing Jungle Boy.
Doing that?
Well, no, he's chasing Jungle Boy in the snow. That was what he was reduced to this week. As they pounded on Jungle Boy out in the snow of Chicago, they beat the shit out of him into a snowbank. And then Luchasaurus and fucking Christian Cage are out there trying to dust him off.
Well, you know, being a Jungle Boy, he's probably never seen snow before. So
even I gotta feel like if even Vince would, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take him, we're gonna put him into a snowbank. This is great shit. Even under Vince like criteria, that would not be great shit. I listened to Alvarez. Know. Alvarez was like, I was so scared for him. I thought he was gonna catch hypothermia. He's out there in just a t-shirt, and they put him in the snowbank and shit. And then Christian Cage, who they made a huge deal out of signing, like his role in this company now is to chase after Jungle Boy and dust snow off of him and pick him up. Sign me up. Where's the t-shirt? Pro Wrestling Tees.
So what you're saying is Christian Cage is Jungle Boy's boy.
I don't know what's going on in this company right now. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on in this company. It's the strangest thing. It's the oddest situation.
It's like they take 2 or 3 steps forward and 1 or 2 steps back a lot of times. And
you got an amazing program like, you know, CM Punk versus MJF. You can't fuck that up. You really literally can't fuck it up. Although I would propose that if you didn't want to fuck it up, you might make CM Punk lose in Chicago. But okay, fine, whatever. And then it's like they mix in all of this shit. I didn't even see. Was there a Hook appearance on Wednesday? Did I miss Hook? The hottest thing in the company?
I don't think so. I don't.
Wow. Previously, the hottest thing in the company was Daniel Garcia, and I haven't seen him. And then in between Daniel Garcia and Hook, Jay Lethal was the hottest thing in the company. He actually made an appearance on Rampage tonight. So he's on the Junior Varsity show. And then I can't remember who was the hottest thing in the company previously, but I know they've signed Dan House into a contract to go out and just be a mime. He just comes out and makes faces.
He actually had a pretty funny tweet from after the Dynamite show when Danielson mentioned his name, called him and Darby a joke.
Yeah.
Or him and Orange Cassidy a joke, or whoever it was. Orange Cassidy a joke. Dan Housen tweeted something like, "Thank you, Brian Samuelson, for mentioning my name on Dynamite." Yeah. Dan Housen likes you.
It's so great that Tony Khan writes checks to people who just put their makeup on once a week and then go. It reminds me of when WCW toward the end bought those rights to the Demon from Kiss, and they were paying Gene Simmons like $5 trillion a week just to have that thing. You remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Gene Simmons and Bobby Bonilla. Yeah.
It was like they had him. I think Brian Adams originally did it, then Torberg did it, right?
Yeah.
Torberg was the Demon, and they were paying
Torberg
Gene
was the
Simmons.
Second one. Yeah. Brian Adams and then
Brian Adams was the first one, and then Gene Simmons being who he is, they paid him just a sick amount of money, and then Kiss performed live to have him unveiled. And then, of course, you remember the Eric Bischoff plan was to have at the turn of the century, at the 1999 into 2000 New Year's thing, was to have a big wrestling pay-per-view, and then Kiss perform live at midnight. Yes. I think somewhere out in Arizona. They wanted to do it in Scottsdale or Phoenix or something like that.
I didn't remember the venue.
And it's just so sad that Eric Bischoff wasn't able to flush a shit ton of AOL Time Warner's money down the toilet with an idea like that. But it just never.
Too bad.
It never happened. It just never materialized. Yeah. Oh, so sad. So those
you mentioned Jay Lethal. Can we talk about that for just a second?
Love Becomes a Lethal Weapon. Very underrated song by Honeymoon Suite from the Lethal Weapon soundtrack.
Wow. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Honeymoon Suite. Yes. Yeah, so when I was watching that match you were talking about earlier tonight with him and Starks on Rampage, we were talking about it maybe briefly a couple of times before about him and that situation with Taylor Hendricks and stuff, and it just kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, it just went away because I just never really saw much about it in the last couple of years. So during the match tonight, I Googled it and was trying to figure out what was the latest on it, or at least the last thing to come of it. And the last thing I saw was the news. This is from like November of last year, 3 or 4 months ago. And it said that the news had from 2018 with the whole Taylor Hendricks thing had popped back up into play because it just said Lethal had just been signed by AEW. So of course, I think Taylor Hendricks herself may have tweeted something to get things kind of started up again, but that's really all I saw, and it was really nothing new other than just I think there was you may have seen this. I don't remember ever seeing this. I guess it was a tweet from Lethal at some point around that same time, 3 or 4 months ago, saying that he denies everything, of course, and went into this long spiel about everything, and like I said, just basically denying it. And I'm like, okay. So what's the difference between him and Marty Scurll? Why is Marty Scurll still being like, ousted by everybody seemingly? So I went up and looked at Marty Scurll's. I mean, this is a tidbit that I did not know. I apparently I just didn't look that deep into it before. I didn't realize the Scurll, and you may know this, the Scurll incident was involving a 16-year-old girl.
Oh,
yeah. And
Art Barr line too.
Yeah. Well, so I was reading into that, and I don't know, it's kind of smarmy. If you believe the girl and her girl's dad, you think Scurll's pretty smarmy. If you believe Scurll's part, then you think the dad and the girl is kind of smarmy, but you still don't really think too highly of Scurll either. So Scurll doesn't really come out looking too good in this, and I hate that because I really freaking liked him, man. But I guess that's the difference between him and Scurll. But still, going back to Lethal, I don't know. I just have a problem still with that guy. I mean, I know he's innocent till proven guilty and all that stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too me too on this, but I just I don't know. I just think something like that. I just think Tony Khan's got so much to choose, so many people to choose from that Lethal. Oh, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan anymore.
You can't say anything about Tony Khan not doing his due diligence because he certainly did his research when it comes to Brian Kendrick. What? Huh? That was nice. That was good.
I mean, there's another one. There's another. Flush him down with Skrull.
Got to have him. Got to sign him. Got to put him on AW Dynamite. Oh, you know that he thinks that the Holocaust really didn't happen and all that. Oh yeah. I guess we can replace him. Oh, jeez.
I wonder who told him that. I wonder how he found out about that.
Like 150 people probably emailed him and tweeted him and said, "Oh yeah, there's this," and then all the Sandy Hook scandal, the Sandy Hook thing didn't happen. That was another great. It wasn't like he just said like one crazy thing. No, it was like 150 crazy ass stupid things that he said.
Yeah. So I guess all that shit when he was like portraying he had the psycho gimmick going on. I guess that was real life. Sounds like.
Yeah, it's not fake. It's not a work, pal.
It's not a gimmick. Yes, it's real.
This was from Wrestling News Source from June 23rd of 2020. It's about an alleged person who was 16 years old, and she says this about what happened with her and Marty Scurll. Once we got outside my room in this empty, quiet hallway, he sat on a chair and got his penis out and told me to suck it. And so I did. After a little while, he found a cupboard opposite my room full of sheets. He took me in there and told me to stand up with my underwear pulled up. Remember, I'm 16 at this time. The whole time that he was getting me in a position to stick his unprotected penis inside me, I was repeatedly saying, "I'm sorry, I'm a virgin." Before he even had the chance to penetrate me, the aforementioned friend turned up and told him to leave. The next day, he didn't turn up for his match. Everybody there knew that we had kissed. So it was quickly circulating that I was a slut, but not the part where he sexually assaulted a drunk child. So not only was the person 16, I would like to throw out there that in a lot of states, 16, you can give consent when you're 16. Yeah. I don't think it's a great idea if you're an adult to fuck a 16-year-old, but in a lot of states, legally, you are in the clear. Now, if the person is drunk, we may have a different thing going on with consent. I'm not going to get into that, but yes. You're right that it brings up some weird points. I know that you were talking about when you were sick that you were watching the Dexter stuff, so you have some access to Showtime.
Yes,
the new Bill Cosby thing.
I was getting ready to say.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Wasn't it hilarious?
Oh, it was family stuff, man. Bring grandma in and everybody for that one.
When you start looking at accusations like this, and there's a ton of this stuff that goes on in wrestling, of course, all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's blown up over the past couple of years for sure. The idea that if there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah. I mean, certainly with Bill Cosby, going back for 60 years, there was, a pattern. He had a style. He had a certain kind of woman that he would groom. He had a certain method in which he would drug her. He had a certain way that he would rape her. It was almost methodical over a period of time. And his selection of the perfect kind of, there's a demographic or a psychographic or something that he was able to choose. I thought somebody made that really great point that no matter what Bill Cosby did, he was a master at it, including raping women. He was a master at comedy. He was a master at business. He was a master at blah, 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 but he was also a master at raping women.
What part it kind of made me a lot of it made me cringe, but one part that stuck out for me was the part, I think it was in the last episode, when I think it was a British guy was interviewing him and Claire, and the guy.
No. We don't talk about that. No.
Yes,
that was so funny.
And he put that reporter on the spot. The reporter's like, I'll have to ask my producer if we can edit that part out. I don't know.
No, you see, if you have any integrity at all, You won't use that part, please. Please. Like he's again here.
Telling me about integrity.
This is the narcissistic piece of shit. He's talking about how like Eddie Murphy shouldn't say fuck. Meanwhile, he's like fucking women against their will. Like the whole time. I mean, that's the narcissism of that whole thing. You don't have to say the foul, the filth, the filth, the foul, the foul, the filth.
The filth, floor, and filth.
Filth, the floor, the flour, and filth. If you please. Please. And then he turns out, I thought we got a little.
Oh, man.
I mean, there was some of that stuff where they go, well, we're looking for clues. And the Spanish fly stuff is whatever. But then the barbecue sauce stuff from the Cosby. I mean, I thought we may have painted on a little thick. And I'm not sticking up for Bill Cosby, but to look for clues and to dig through all of that, I don't know if that was necessarily what we were looking for.
Yeah, it was a little much, but we get the point.
Oh, by the way, did you see that they had the fast foodie show coming on after Rampage? You see that with
Chris? I sure did, and I purposely avoided it.
So dipshit McGee there, Chris Jericho. I don't know if it's the best thing to have him on a show that's centric on food, because it kind of just brings attention to the fact that he's kind of fat. I don't know if you guys got this or not. I don't know if you get it. Is that a thing that you get? Because I don't know.
You can't help it.
He's just big boned. He's doing Cracker Barrel. He had them do remake. Have you ever seen the show? Do you know what the show is?
What?
The fast foodie show?
Oh, no, I don't know anything about it.
It's a fun show because they've had Joel McHale from Community and Talk Soup and Fortune Feimster, who is on the stand-up comedian, and she's on the Mindy Project. I think she's sold out a couple of shows here in the next couple of months at the Carolina Theater in Durham. She's really funny.
Okay.
Ron Funches has been on there. I'm trying to think who else. They're just Bobby Lee, the great the Asian stand-up comedian, is there. So what they do is you take your favorite fast food meal, and they've got 3 like really great chefs there, and they have 2 rounds. First round, they try to recreate note for note whatever you got. It doesn't matter if it's a fillet of fish. It doesn't matter if it's whatever. They're going to try to make it exactly like that. And then round 2 is they put their spin on it and try to do some version of it that's going to remind you of that, but not be like that at all. So It's a fun show. It's pretty cool. And they give out punishments and stuff.
Here's the thing though. Like, tell me if I'm wrong on this. Like a Wendy's, just take the patty, just the patty from Wendy's,
square patty,
nothing else. Yeah, just the burger patty, and compare it to the McDonald's patty. There's still a difference there.
It is
without everything else. I'm just wondering how they would. Do they? Is that where their spin on things kind of comes into play to take the place of how to, get that flavor down for each?
Exactly. They know how to. I mean, they can taste it and they can figure out like the seasoning is this and this has a little bit more of this on that. They're pretty good at it. So Chris Jericho, I don't know if you saw the meal that he had them try to recreate was it's like a pancake breakfast from Cracker Barrel.
Oh, okay.
Which, first of all, I throw a flag because it's not really like fast food, but okay, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
There's like 3 pancakes, the little fried apple thing, the little maple syrup thing. It's like 2 or 3 eggs and I think a couple of pieces of bacon, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was, and I didn't see the results of it, but he goes, "Yeah, I don't put the butter on there. I don't put the maple syrup on there." I'm like, "Bullshit! Who are you fooling?
Who eats dry ass pancakes?
That's I don't know if he wraps the sausage in it and just I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, that's so much better for you to do it.
And I know this is like a cute way of them maybe to pay back Cracker Barrel for their early support of All Elite Wrestling, which is fine, whatever. And it's like, hey, the boys always
put them that much.
The boys always go to Cracker Barrel. We always go to Cracker Barrel. We always go to Cracker Barrel. We always go to Cracker Barrel, except when you go to Waffle House. So shut the fuck up. So
yeah.
Like, I'm assuming that if Chris Jericho doesn't get what he wants and the result that he wants, he's going to invite some of his friends to just start attacking the kitchen and trying to overthrow it, right? Is that what he
well, hey now.
Sorry. Did I bring back an unpleasant memory for you, Christopher? You and your stupid ass wife?
And your in-laws?
We haven't met in a little while, so we haven't had a chance to talk about Jeff Hardy being called by World Wrestling Entertainment. He was approached by them, and they said, "Hey, would you like to come back? And let me sweeten the deal. We'll put you in the Hall of Fame." And Jeff goes, no, I'm good, thanks. Very odd situation, which gives more credence to the idea that he didn't flunk the drug test, right?
Yeah, I'll be the first to stand corrected on that, because I surely thought that that's what the situation was. But the more I see and read about it, it really seems not the case.
I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what the fuck they were doing and I don't know how they're getting out of that legally. If he didn't breach his contract and they just released him, they might still be paying him. I don't know. But let's see. Matt Hardy says, this is a story from 9 hours ago. Matt Hardy says WWE jumped the gun with Jeff Hardy's release. Let me see. WWE Hall of Famer Eric Bischoff states he hopes that Jeff gets all the help he needs and stays away from wrestling. While Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle said Jeff Hardy needs to engage in a relationship with Raka Khan. What? No, that's not what he said. He didn't say that. Kurt was out there running into trees like Billy Joel, right? There was that period of time where he's just like, he's hitting every tree on the highway.
Yeah. Like, Irish Potato Road not excluded.
Hey, dude, you were in Kansas. There's no trees in Kansas. How'd you hit a tree? I don't know. I hit a tree. It's crazy. I hit the state tree.
I found it. Weird. I found the only tree in Oklahoma here.
It's the weirdest thing. During the latest episode of Extreme Life with Matt Hardy, the All Elite Wrestling superstar spoke about his brother and revealed that Jeff passed the drug test and that WWE never released the results. So why was he asked to leave? I don't get, like, why do you, if he passed the drug test? Weird.
Maybe they just assumed before the drug test and told him to leave, and then they said, he doesn't have any drugs in him. I guess we can call him. That's when the Hall of Fame call came, maybe.
I reckon. Matt Hardy also spoke about the rumors that WWE offered Jeff a contract to come back to the company and have him inducted in the Hall of Fame during this year's WrestleMania 38. The rumors are true. Matthew says WWE did try to contact Jeff and bring him back and put him underneath some sort of deal, and they were going to induct him into the Hall of Fame. To me, it seemed like they kind of jumped the gun, as I've said before. They released him before they ever got his drug test results. I guess they just figured he was high. I mean, Jeff just walks around and looks high now, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really tell with all that makeup and stuff he puts on, painting eyeballs on his eyelids and all that stuff. How do you know?
If they bring Laurinaitis, if they go to the court and bring it back and Jeff sues them, like Laurinaitis, Your Honor, I would bring as evidence Jeff's appearance. Look at him. He's obviously high. Right?
Yeah. Can't deny it, really.
They released him before they ever got his drug test results, and they had an issue getting the drug test results back. And then finally, my brother and his wife got that. And obviously, it was a clean test. And when it comes to the drug test, he was totally clean on every level, which is, again, hard to believe. But, God bless him. Well, that's probably from when they figured out he was cheating. He's never been completely clean ever. He gotta be. This has to be a wrong test.
Yeah, he's been taking the Certo. He's been mixing it with some Gatorade, and
you also wonder if they do in the WWE, they do an A sample and a B sample, so they can compare two results or whatever. And also, you want if they have the deal where they've got somebody witnessing and pulling it out and peeing, right? So that he can't do the other thing. Yeah,
that's military-like.
Somebody did that. There was somebody in the WWE that did that, and they tried to have some urine in a fake bladder and piss, and I can't remember who it was. It's going to drive me crazy.
I think that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Here's what happened. We got his test back. He was clean. So obviously that means he's on drugs, right? Yeah, that's what it means. You're right, Johnny Ace. What'd you think of by the way, what'd you think of the bellows in the Rumble?
Yeah.
Nikki's haircut
was all right. I do like the haircut.
Nikki's haircut, yeah.
Her haircut, yeah. I will give you that one.
I would have never thought that Nikki would have turned out to be a more likable Bella.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of fluctuate, I think, for me.
On the show, I think they set it up for Nikki to be the materialistic bitch, but Brianna to me came off as being way more bitchy, judgmental, and harsh than her sister.
They both kind of did to me. I don't know. I didn't really see one being more than the other. It's pretty even. I wonder how she feels about unloading Cena now that he's a major worldwide superstar. I don't think she cares.
I don't think so either. I think she's got enough money on her own. I don't think she gives a shit.
I don't think so. I wouldn't if I was her.
This is Nikki's stepfather. She's okay. She's getting enough money. She's fine. Am I getting enough Super Dave Osborne in that thing?
Yes.
By the way, the Super Dave Osborne documentary on HBO Max is really good. It's really fantastic, and it will take you back to your childhood.
I love Super Dave. God.
Just as I would assume the Letterman appearance on the Seth Meyers show would also take you back a ways.
I haven't seen that yet.
Did you heard me talking about it on
Brad
and
like,
Britt?
Yeah, I did. I had no idea he was even on there.
Yeah, it was the 40th anniversary of well, it's on Peacock, so they've got it, so you can watch it.
Okay, I'll find it.
It's the 40th anniversary of Late Night, which he created in 1982.
I got you.
This will be a great tidbit that only you will enjoy. The whole idea of Johnny Carson owning that real estate after the Tonight Show, the 12:30 slot, came about, and I know you'll remember this, the acrimonious 1980-1981 contract talks with Carson and NBC. You remember that whole situation where they were like, we've got you through 1983. And he's like, no. In California, we have a 7-year limit. Contract's over. And they're like, fuck you. Fred Silverman's like, fuck you. This fucking network's in the toilet right now. And if we lose you, we're underneath the toilet. So fuck you. So they had like an arbiter come in, an arbitrator. And the arbitrator goes, yep, it's California law. He's free agent. He can go anywhere he wants to. ABC makes these overtures to him. They're going to give him everything in the world that he wants. He wants to control the 12:30 slot. He's going to produce sitcoms and other shows and shit. And they're like, whatever you want, man, we'll stroke the check. And then he talks to somebody. It was Bushkin or Carson. They talk to somebody and they go, look, they talk to Lou Wasserman. That's who they talk to. The greatest super agent in the history of Hollywood. Yeah. They talk to Lou Wasserman. Wasserman goes, look, here, and this is well before, cable penetration was anything. And he goes, it's very hard to get people to change their habits. If they tune in to channel blank at 11:30, Monday through Friday, it's hard to get them to stop doing that. So Johnny's like, fuck it. So he got NBC to pay him a shit ton of money for working 3 nights a week, 1-hour shows, 37 weeks a year. And he got the 12:30 slot. And he said, oh, yeah, this Letterman guy that you guys have had on a hold for a couple of years, ever since you gave him 18 weeks on that daytime show, I've always liked the kid. We're going to let him do a late night show. And so it was in 1982 that David Letterman premiered the show that has now been on for 40 years. There you go.
Thank you, Johnny.
A little TV history for you from your boys here. And we've bored you silly with this entire thing. So we'll get back to the Jade Cargill interview now that she's on Talk is Jericho. And she chose All Elite Wrestling over WWE. Here's the quote that you're going to hear over and over. And the takeaway from this, I've not heard it. I've only seen excerpts. I don't know about you. I don't think you ever listened. Did you never listen to Talk is Jericho, did you?
I'm trying to think. I did a couple of them. Yeah. Way back when. I haven't listened in a long time now.
The Donald Trump Jr. interview was really my exit point.
That was it for me.
That was like, I'm like,
anytime that was any kind of listening I did was done after that.
By the way, as a good liberal, I did leave Spotify. For anybody who wishes to know, I did. And when you leave Spotify, make sure you delete the app off of your phone or off of your iPad or whatever it is. Make sure you do. That's what really stabs them in the heart. That's what really kills them. I'll say this. I'm on Amazon Music now. Obviously, Apple Music is very good. Tidal's very good. Pandora's fine, whatever. The sound quality on Amazon Music kicks the shit out of Spotify.
Thank you.
Those motherfuckers should be pounded into the sand for the compression they put on those files. And Neil Young said this years ago. The sonic quality.
He's just an old man. He doesn't. You see what I did there with the old.
Let's see what you
did. But yeah, you're so right. God,
the sound quality. I mean, people are gonna like you and I care about this stuff. I think people, but I think even people who are not like intensely into that stuff will be able to notice. It really does smack you in the face. How much better it is. And Neil Young said it a long time ago. Like when you first started streaming music, there weren't that many servers. You had to conserve server space. So of course, compress the files, take out little pieces, do all of the stuff you need to do. Now, server space all over the place, clouds all over the place, and you have 4G and 5G bandwidth to fit all of the information in. So you can have that stuff now. And you have unlimited plans. You have unlimited data plans, so you can just stream the shit all over the place, connect on Wi-Fi. My God, it sounds so much better. It was like getting out of an abusive relationship. Honestly, it really was. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's like you're like, oh, I got to start over with somebody else. And you're like, oh, this new person doesn't do things the way the other person does. But then you realize, oh, this is actually better.
Yeah.
What I was going through was shitty.
I didn't realize it till now. But yeah, I like a lot of they've got like Ultra HD sound on a lot of those stuff. It's really good. I'm looking at all this right now on mine, and I love it, man.
It is the sound quality is just it blows you away. And I don't have the super deluxe package. I'm gonna save $60 this year over Spotify. So I know that's not a tremendous amount of money, but it's a tank full of gas for a lot of people.
It is, yeah.
I mean, for a lot of folks. By the way, Brandon is killing this economy. If I may go back to Jericho, did you see how many jobs Brandon created in the past 12 months?
I know. Damn you, Brandon.
It's the first time in a 12-month period that 7 million jobs have been created in this country. This guy is bringing this fucking country down. Why can't people see it?
Will you stop it with the fucking facts?
So yeah, I bid farewell to and the Talk is Jericho podcast was good from time to time when he was talking to wrestlers, and then when he would, oh, here's Blackie Lawless or whatever, and it's like this is stupid, and then it would go, oh, we're gonna like do a showdown with this Skid Row album versus this Guns N' Roses. You know, it's like what?
No,
I don't know what you stop. Your rock credentials are tiny.
At best,
tiny. I loved it when you talk to Steel Panther, because I love them talking about, fucking chicks out by the the fucking Porta Johns. That's
rock
great,
and roll, man. Come on,
that's good, but you're not as rock and roll as you think you are. You idiot. Okay, just enjoy What Have I Become Now That I've Betrayed. Just enjoy those fuckers singing that to you. That's as good as it's going to get. And you suck. You're terrible. You got yourself over. Whatever. Oh, we're gonna have a big meeting, next week. Chris Jericho's gonna have a big meeting with those guys.
Oh, we got to talk. Circle. Yeah.
We got to talk.
Inner problems in the inner circle.
Inner cycle. Like I'm on my period. So yeah, I stopped listening to it. The stupid Talk is Jericho, but he's got Jade Cargill on, and she's got a few interesting points. She says, so WWE sent me the contract. They wanted me to do it. AEW came about, and I came here. I got the experience. I felt calm. I remember you talking to Jericho, and I had this conversation in the car. It made me feel at ease about the decision that I wanted to make. I didn't have to relocate. I felt at home. I could call the owner of our company and talk to him. Let me pause for just a moment. This is a point that Colin Cowherd likes to make frequently about the Green Bay Packers. They don't have an owner. They're owned by all of the people, and they all have shares and all this stuff. And it's like
they're communist. They're a communist team.
Yeah, it's a socialism thing up in Green Bay. So he's like, if you're at another place, you can go talk to the owner. Motherfucker, if you're in Dallas and you can go down the hall and talk to Crazy Jerry Jones, does that make you feel better?
Crazy
does that make you feel
Jerry
better?
Jones. Hey.
If you're in Jacksonville and you go talk to Shad Khan, who knows fucking way more about bumpers than he does about football coaches, does that make you feel good that Shad Khan, like, oh, good, I'll just talk to Shad because he's so awesome? Does that make you feel good? What about that shithead Stephen Ross down in Miami? If you're working, I'm with the Miami Dolphins, I can go talk to crazy-ass Stephen Ross who likes to fire black people for no reason, then make up shit about them. That feels so much better. I've got an owner I can talk to. Woohoo! Does that make you feel good? Well, it shouldn't, you dumbasses. God almighty. I'm in New England. I can go talk to Bob Kraft. First of all, there's 15 layers of people between you and Bob Kraft. He doesn't want to talk to you. If your name isn't Tom Brady when you're playing with the Patriots, he doesn't give a fuck about you. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. I know this is going to hurt. He doesn't know your name, doesn't care who you are, and doesn't give a fuck about you. And if he does talk to you, he's going to be like, why don't you shut the fuck up? Go get a towel and an energy drink and don't bother me anymore.
And shut the fuck up.
Get the Coke and the smile and shut the fuck up. Is that? I mean, again, having an owner that you can allegedly talk. If you're working for, again, I'll just use this as the last one because I pounded this into the ground. If you're with the Washington Commanders, oh boy, I can go talk to our owner anytime I want to.
Good luck.
Yay! Come on, give me a break with that shit.
Yeah.
So I would just say to Jade Cargill about the idea you can go talk to Tony Khan. I guess anytime he doesn't have his head up Chris Jericho's ass, you can talk to him. Maybe he'll hear you. Well, I can't hear you, Jade. My head is so far up Jericho's ass. I can't.
Maybe she can get some advice from Big Swole.
How'd that work out? He knew my name. He knew my purpose. He knew what I wanted to do. And it wasn't just a number. He knew exactly who I was. So that made me feel comfortable. Also explained, she said, Cargill did in the interview, that she felt more secure in AEW given WWE's recent talent cuts, citing friend and former NXT developmental talent Ed Nduka as an example. There's more security. There's a safety net here. Shall we talk to Big Swole about the safety net? Shall we talk to Leo Rush about the safety net?
I think there's a big hole in that net.
Yeah.
Somebody took the scissors to that net.
They got back. That was very interesting. Let me see the rest of the interview. There's more security. There's a safety net here. Like I said, I just named one of my friends who gave up everything he had a newborn baby, and got cut with no warning. Now, I'll say this: the WWE does fuck over people with impunity, and I think Alice in Danger was the one that was the really shitty one, right? I don't care if Eric Bischoff. I don't. Well, they moved her all the way across the country, and then like a week later fired her.
That's right. You got
to come to Orlando. You got to live here. Oh, I know you just got your cable in your house. You're fired. That's
Applebee's is hiring down the road. See you later.
Exactly. Well, that Cracker Barrel that Chris Jericho likes to stuff his face in pancakes with.
Well, they are supporting AEW, so
right down there. And if you can sell one of those rocking chairs, they'll bonus you an extra $10 a shift. It's remarkable the deal that they have. So that's Steve Corino's sister. That whole situation was shitty. Now I don't give a shit if Eric Bischoff has to sell his ranch in Montana or whatever, then go to Connecticut and get fired 3 weeks later. I think that's funny. I think that's hilarious. And fuck Eric Bischoff. But for Alice in Danger, who's never made a whole lot of money on the indies, has struggled and hustled and done everything she needs to do to get screwed over in 5 seconds flat. That was pretty shitty. That was a pretty shitty thing to do.
Yeah, that was pretty disgusting.
So this is the rest of what she has to say on Jericho. I remember when I told him I was thinking about coming there, he couldn't believe it. Why would you ever choose AEW over WWE? And I'm like, you don't understand. I feel good here. I don't want to be cut. I don't want to worry. I feel like somebody. I don't want to be a number. He was so for WWE, and look at him. And I'm just like, damn, that sucks. You were all about this company. We talked about it. You tried to convince me to come over. You just had your baby. Your wife passed the bar in Florida for your career here. It sucks. I know I made the best decision. Now there's another headline that's really good. Here it is. Jade Cargill said that the WWE family, WWE told her, this is your family now when concerned about a contract affecting her home life. They called me
a little
back.
Marshall Applewhite-ish there.
Doesn't it though? It's not a cult at all. I don't know what you're talking
family
about.
Now.
All you need to do is
use some Nikes.
We're your family now, and just like on Pornhub, I'm gonna fuck your daughter. Oh. She says, "I got caught. I got caught looking at Pornhub. Well, not looking at it. Okay, here's what happened. We're at Outback.
At least you're admitting this. I'm giving you credit straight off the top here.
We're at Outback on Thursday. Went out to dinner at Outback on Thursday. Thursday was date night.
Okay.
So we're out in front of Outback waiting for them to call our name, because when you put your name on the list there, that doesn't mean you get a reservation. They were like, we would prefer you wait outside. I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy, but I felt for half a second like, well, there's nice seats in here and we've got masks on. Can't we stay in? But no, she goes, they just told us to wait outside. So we have to, okay, so we're waiting outside. So I go, well, let me just pull up the old menu on my large new phone and let's take a look at it on my browser, which is on Pornhub. And she's like, oh, Pornhub, nice. I'm like, oh, jeez.
God damn it.
Fine. It's good.
Damn it.
It's not like you're not looking at it. She goes, no, I'm looking. I have other sites. So what do you go? Free ones? X Hamster? I don't know what those are either. I have no.
You porn? I don't know. Somebody told me about that.
Somebody told me. It was on a Reddit thread I was looking at.
Somebody also told me that, incognito tabs or sites or web browsers or whatever.
We don't really have things. We don't have those sort of things to hide from each other because we don't live together. She knows that I look at porn. I know that she looks at porn, and it's fine.
But still.
You don't want to hey, look at what I saw today. Oh, that's so great. Look at this stepsister. Well, pigtails in it. No.
Something you just want to, no.
Honey, here are a list of my current favorite, and this is my new top 5 instead of doing the top 5 asses on the show. These are my top 5 current favorite porn performers.
And you share it with her. That's even better.
This is who I like. And by the way, Alexis, Texas has moved up to number 3 this week. I don't.
But Brett, I don't understand. Why you moved her up.
Well, I just felt she was a little more milfy this week, and she's got this new video, or it's one that I've seen recently, and it got her back in my good graces. Kendra Lust in the number 2 spot, and again, I don't know who these people are.
Just making them up as you go, right?
Right, these are just fake names. Jade had a tryout with The great thing about Pornhub is anytime you want to, you can go talk to the owner. I mean, that's the beauty of that.
Well,
that's just the stupidest thing. That's just the dumbest thing. When we were working for that shitty ass radio company, would it have eased your mind to know that you could go into Don Curtis's office and talk to him?
Man, I know I've told you this. When the first, we had to, even though our station wasn't where the home office was, we had to go to Raleigh for the home office. So
we were in the hinterlands.
Before. So I'm sitting there talking to one of the cronies, one of the vice presidents. He goes, I want you to meet Mr. Curtis when he comes in. He said, you just got hired, and I'm sitting there signing all my forms and all that stuff.
That's nice.
And and the guy goes, I think I see him coming in right now. And he goes up to the hall and greets Mr. Curtis as he's coming into the hallway from outside. It says, Mr. Curtis, we got a new employee in here, Mr. Williams. Would you like to come in here and meet him? No, I have other things to do. Okay.
Is that literally what he said?
Basically.
It's he's 5 feet from you.
He can see me. I mean, it's it's 5 feet.
He could have walked 6 steps and see you, but he
shook my hand, took, 2 seconds.
The story that I heard about him from their home office in Raleigh was that, they had the Spanish language station, which eventually took over the format of the station that we were on.
Ironically enough, yes.
Yeah. And they had, the guys who worked there were Latino guys, and he didn't really know them that well. He comes in one morning and he tells them, hey, can you take out that trash? Because he thought they were the cleaning.
No.
True story.
Oh my God, no.
True story. So walking down the hall and talking to the owner, a true comfort.
Gosh, that'd be so nice.
Jade Cargill had a tryout with WWE before AEW. She was asked if she ever heard back from them. They called me back. I'm not going to name the person's hand that I shook. They wanted me. The problem they found out is I had mixed feelings about was that, like I mentioned, I don't need wrestling. I don't need to do this. A lot of people, especially the trial, need this. This is how they feed their families. I've been doing this forever, So for them to get the point, they will give anything and everything to do it. So they were like, we want you. We're going to sign you, but we're kind of worried about how bad you want this. And we're not just some reality show. We're not glitter and lights and cameras. And I was like, okay. He said, also, you have a child. I said, yeah, I do. And they were like, well, what are you going to do? Because at that time, my daughter was 2. I was like, well, thankfully, because I have money, we can pay a tutor to help tutor my kid. Being we have to relocate to Orlando, I can have a 24-hour nanny. But they were grilling me about it, which was kind of well, my spouse can travel with me wherever we go. This could be easy for me. I thought about all the precautions of this. I've been warned about traveling. I get it. He said, yeah, I get what you're saying, but this is your family now. I want you to know that. I was like, I get it. I totally understand that, but I've thought about it. I want to, and I want it. I've been training for this, and they're like, all right, then we'll see. So they sent the contract. They wanted me to do it, and then of course, like she said, she talked to Chris Jericho, and she's never looked back. She's a great talent. She's doing very well right now, and she's got a great look. And I can't even imagine how they would have. Nia Jax probably would have broken her ribs 5 times over if she would have been in WWE for any period of time, right?
Yeah. Good chance of it, yeah.
Any other closing thoughts on another award-winning episode of Katie Vick is Alive?
I saw Keith Lee was pretty close to signing with AEW now, so I hope we see him soon. I think he would fit in pretty well, kind of like with a powerhouse Hobbs kind of.
He needs to be a monster. Well, no, I hope he's part of the Dark Order because he belongs with the Dark Order.
Could be the new leader. We never know.
Have we seen the Dark Order lately?
Yeah, we saw Evil Uno tonight. I
saw Evil Uno. Was he representing himself, or was he doing that? Who we haven't seen? We haven't seen Scott lately. Where is Scott Colton these days?
Good question. I don't know. I think he's probably lurking backstage, getting on somebody's nerves.
No, I saw that he was in Australia.
CM Punk was
him and CM Punk had to be separated.
Probably.
But I heard that he was in Australia trying out for some sort of project or movie or something. So he's
really? For real?
Yeah. Fuck that guy. I hope he never gets anything ever again.
Somebody asked me not too long ago who's the shittiest person I ever met that you and I was talking about you and I going to all the WrestleCades and that sort of thing. And so he goes, man, who's the shittiest person you ever met? And I actually had to think for a second. I'm like, I don't know if we've ever met anybody really shitty. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Of course I have. Yeah, and I told him
he was needlessly a dick over the whole situation.
Yes, he just turned into a dick, right? It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde right in front of our eyes, man. But I thought that was interesting. I had to actually think about that for a second.
We gave him our money. Bought one of his DVDs. You bought his T-shirt. What an asshole.
Yes.
I think it was always his gimmick. We would hear that from behind the scenes and people in wrestling. Like he pretends to be like a super nice guy, but he's really an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, that just disappointing, but I'll stand by it.
He's now the 5th most important member of the shittiest regime and group in AEW. So that's nice.
Proud moments.
Very good. Hey, but at least he can go talk to the owner anytime he wants
to. Doors always open.
So reassuring. Bryant can be followed on social media, Instagram and on Twitter. It's at Bry Sports, BRY Sports. TikTok, he's Stanley Jackson 23. The show is Katie Vick Alive, at Katie Vick Alive on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Britt Whitmire. I'm on Instagram at BDub for Reels. And if you want to help us and support what we do, you can shop at Amazon because you're going to need stuff for Valentine's Day and for all of your snacks when you're watching them in Saudi Arabia.
So you can vomit them up.
I want some Saudi Arabia snacks. It's katievick.com. That is our Amazon store. katievick.com doesn't change the price of the stuff that you're buying, and it helps us out, and we certainly do appreciate all of your support. Until next time, fans, we'll see you ringside.